Okay, now we're on. I tried to make this video like 4 times and kept losing my thing, the stupid window thing. Anyway, so I want to talk about Cuphead and some stuff that between researching and seeing what is recommended, and then also the updates. So I guess this will be a relatively thorough video. So I bought Cuphead on a digital download sale on Black Friday, Brown Thursday, and I knew going into it's going to be one of the hardest games I've ever played. I'm not a big hard game player, but I do love the graphics of Cuphead. So the first world was kind of like, what the fuck did I get myself into? More or less with, like, there's a character named Cagney Carnation, which that one was the one that pissed me off the most. So then I get into World 2, and there's this other one called Beppy the Clown, and I go right for Beppy the Clown, and that took me a while too. Then World 2, there was some other there's other bosses in World 2, but they didn't really give me as much problems as Beppy the Clown. Then World 3 took probably the longest, I'd say, out of all of them. You're getting harder and harder difficulty. I know it's a hard game, but Dr. Call's Robot, the Legend of Dr. Call's Robot, is no joke. I don't even know how I beat it, besides repetition, because I got through all of his first stages and second stage with no hits on me at all. And I was using the extra heart charm, so that way I could survive a little bit longer, and I made it through his diamond attack. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look up Dr. Call's Robot on YouTube. It'll come up with Cuphead, and yeah. So anyway, then there was the Phantom Express, which is supposed to be hard too, and that one, after you get the pattern down, it's really super easy. With a little bit of luck. The last stage is what's the hardest part. But the funny thing to me is that, so I beat Cala Maria, who's one of the bosses in Aisle 3. And Cala Maria is supposed to be one of the harder bosses. And I got her done within 20 minutes, half an hour, if that. So then Sally Stage, whatever the hell her name is, Sally Stage something, Stage Fright, I can't remember. She gave me a run for my money, and she's supposed to be one of the easier bosses in World 3 from everything I researched. So, that one took me a good 2-3 hours to try to learn the pattern. So then, got all that done, got my 2 running guns with most of my coins. The running gun levels in Aisle 3 weren't too bad. There's one where they throw axes at you in World 3. I have no idea what the name's called. That one gave me some problems. More or less with trying to go with no damage to get to the end, because there is a runaway from a big boss that you can't kill platformer, to where I got to the end and I had 2 hits left, and that's usually where I was getting killed. So I kept jumping, and then I knew I was going to miss the jump, and I just took the hit. Had 1 HP left. When I bounced back up off the ground, I dashed to the finish line. Not the cleanest victory, but enough for me whenever I was trying to get through this game. Then let's go to King Dice. King Dice, to learn his mini bosses was a pain right in the ass, because you can land on any of them. Now, I learned after a couple hours of just messing around with it how to pick certain bosses, the mini bosses, to make it a little bit easier to get through the fight quicker. Because you have to fight at least 3 bosses, then you have to fight him with 1 health bar. So I chose, and I got pretty good at the dice, 2, 4, and 8. Which I cannot remember the rolls you have to do, but you do have to use some safe spots. 2 is the chips guy. He's pretty easy to dodge his attacks and just hit him with the chaser. 4th one is the dominoes. I hit her with the chasers too. Hit him because it looks like there's a guy on the top and a girl on the bottom for this domino face. Then after that would be safe spot probably, and then 8, which is the 8 ball, which out of those 3 bosses of the last part of the wheel, 8 is the easiest. Russian roulette, I can't get any damage really done on her before I die, because she'll just keep hitting me, and I can't really figure out how to get out of it for the most part. I did watch a guide after I beat King Dice on to just keep smoke bombing her. And I'm like, I should have watched this beforehand, but I set my heart on 8. Then you have to hit from 8, safe spot, and then you have to hit Finn. Now, as soon as you hit Finn, most guides said run to either side of the screen, and yeah, 50-50 shot of where he's going to put the cards down. Now, I made the mistake of not paying attention to which hand it was. So if he was using his left and I was parrying from the right, I'd run left, in which case you're supposed to run right, because then his next hand is going to come down. Now, he does double up on one side, but if you have enough health and you can't parry, because I kind of suck at parrying, if you got enough health, you can take a hit, try to bullshit your parries, and then smoke dash, because that'll actually help you out a little bit in the fight. But you need health, so I'd recommend 2, 4, 8 and the safe spots. Bonus if you can get a 2, 4, or 8 with the heart on it, because then you can carry extra health, because you kind of need the smoke bomb for Chips Beddington. I think that's actually the guy's name who's on the number 2 spot. And it helps with the 8th fight. It helps a lot. 4th fight, or the number 4, I should say, on the roulette wheel, it's not bad. You gotta be careful because there's spikes on the floor, and you don't want to smoke bomb yourself into the spikes. So I tried King Dice for, I want to say, at least 4 hours of just trying to attempt. Walked away, went to work the next, went to bed, went to work, came home, got my stuff done I needed to get done. I'm like, I'm gonna, try this out. 3 attempts, I beat him. And the thing is I had to call out his hands. So if he's coming from the left, I'm like, go right, to myself out loud. And it worked. And I've already called out what side to go to. It worked. And I knew it was gonna work whenever I got 2 HP and I've been sitting there for, a couple minutes. I'm like, he's got to get knocked out here pretty soon. Like, I've been laying damage into his face whenever he's done with the cards. And sure as hell, boom, knockout. And it was pretty satisfying. So then I moved into the Devil last night. And the Devil's supposed to be easier, but some of his attacks to learn, to know, get out of the way, move this way, move that way. suck. I think I've got a pretty good handle on it now because before I signed off last night, I got through half of his second stage, and from what it looks like, the rest of the fight is relatively easy. You just have to get to that first stage. That first stage is what sucks the worst. And I've seen it. It sucks trying to get through that first stage. So, but yeah, I guess I'll make a video again sometime about if I ever beat it, when I beat it, or I'll forget, one of the three. I'll probably forget to make another video. Let's just assume I beat it, because I'm only one boss fight away. It's definitely a very good game. It's a game that, for your money's worth, you get hours of play. And, it is repetitious because you have to fight the same characters over and over again to learn their patterns. But once you get that knockout, it really does feel like you accomplished something, because how hard these bosses can be. Dr. Call's robot would be definitely on my top 3. It'd be Dr. Call's Sally Stage Fright. Let's call her Sally Stage Fright. And I'd say King Dice, but King Dice was relatively easy because of his attacks. It's just once you gotta figure out the left-right part, and if you're tired and you can't, your brain's not processing it right, then it can be extremely difficult. But I'd say probably Beppy the Clown. I'll go Beppy the Clown. That one took a while too. Oh, so they definitely did update it according to what I've seen. Now, I've watched a lot of videos on glitches to defeat bosses in the first round. Grim Matchstick. Actually, you know what? Grim Matchstick would be number 4 for hardness. But Grim Matchstick had a glitch where you did a whole bunch of damage in the first round whenever you used your supers and stuff, but you had to keep shooting him when he was off the screen, and he'd come up he'd go off on the right, come up on the left. Yeah, that was scary. You can turn on his disco lights. I just got passed by a cop. Anyway, so where the hell was I? Hardest bosses. Beppy the Clown. Grim Matchstick. So he's supposed to be going off the right side of the screen. Comes up on the left to do his second phase. You're supposed to be able to shoot him through that sidewall there on the right hand side of the screen with any attack, I guess, because he's glitched out over there, and then it'll do massive damage, and then you can knock him out in, I guess, the second phase. Yeah, that didn't work ever, so they must have patched it. Dr. Call's robot was another one where you could do all these attacks with your supers and stuff up and down his body, knock him on the first stage. That got patched from what I've seen. There's another glitch I saw that you're supposed to be able to do. There's Matchstick, Call. Anyway, well, the devil. You're supposed to be able to get him through his first stage. Second stage, you're supposed to be able to aim up / left to right and damage him and knock him out. Well, I'd use the chaser, and the screen will flash like you're hitting him in this glitch I saw. Now, mind you, this is part of videos I think that should be made. You get your initial reviews, but you never get what patches are coming out that fix stuff, change stuff, kind of stuff. you never do. I never see videos about it. So I figured I'd inform the people. The devil one seems to have been patched. I've done where you're supposed to shoot and you'll see a flicker, and it doesn't happen. And I think they might have extended out the hitbox because what he does is he takes off his skin and turns into a skeleton, drops down a hole. Well, and then you're supposed to get towards the hole, and there'll be fire that comes on each side of the wall, so you can't really run back or forth. So I went to turn around and immediately hit the fire and took damage. And he was not there, and he was not on the other side, and he was not above. Now, in the glitch I've seen, he'll glitch out on either side of the fire / the ceiling, and you just shoot him until he's dead, and it counts as a knockout. Seems that they've patched it. Because I'm playing the 2018 version after all these different patches, and most of the reviews that came out are around 2017, where I'm going to guess there was little to no patches. So definitely different of your priorities in the fight. You know, if you're just like, oh, I just want to bullshit my way through this fight, I'll do the glitch and knock him out. Yeah, don't rely on that. So I have not been able to pull off any of the glitches for most of the fights, all the fights that I've seen on YouTube, that you can glitch the boss and do a first round or second round knockout. So I think that's about it for Cuphead. Definitely a good game. It's going to take some time if you buy it now with no glitches, because I know a lot of the speedrunners, you know, I'm going to guess Cuphead's kind of fallen off the popularity scale, but I know it was pretty popular there for a while from just watching YouTube stuff that's been saved for, for a year. You can find any boss tutorial, pretty much anything on YouTube that you can imagine. Twitch streamers, everything on YouTube for this game. There's been speedruns of it done. So it was very popular back then. I was skeptical on getting it because of the legendary, hardness that it carries with it. But I was feeling like a change. Sick of the easy games, sick of just, mindlessly playing Call of Duty or stupid stuff like that. Overwatch, just, multiplayers, basically. I was sick of playing multiplayers. I wanted to break. It was down to $15 on digital download sale. So I'm like, well, it's $15. It sucks. I'm not, 20, 15, it's not that big of a difference, but I was just ready for a change. And I've been addicted to it the last 2 weeks. Every night I get home, I get time to play. I'm playing Cuphead. And tonight when I get home, I'll probably be playing the devil until I beat him. So yeah, should be a interesting fight. Like I said, I can get through the first phase mostly without taking damage. So, but I've been using the smoke bomb charm. It might be time to use the extra heart. Mind you, it'll take longer to knock them out, but I'll also be able to take an extra hit in the case that I screw up his attacks, because most of the time you gotta move left or right to avoid his spawning the attack, because I found that out too. I don't know if that's a glitch or not, but when he's spawning an attack, they can hit you because he spawns like fireballs and like bubble looking ball things, and it's a little disorienting trying to figure that out. Fucking sun. So yeah, well, that's what I've discovered about how to beat him. So, anyway, this is it, YouTube. See ya.